Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody, depending on where you're joining us. I see folks are joining in. I'll give a couple more minutes to settle down. We'll resume shortly. Thank you. All right. Good morning. Thanks for joining what happens to be a Thanksgiving week over at the US. So special thanks to the folks who are joining us from there, taking their time out, celebrating from their loved ones. So I'm your host, Sagnik Datta. I'm the technical marketing manager at Citrix Ready. I'll be the moderator and one of the speakers for today's webinar. Our webinar topic today is what remains to be an important part of the employee productivity. We are going to discuss and explore the future of print in the digital workspace with Citrix and UniPrint. The webinar is brought to you by Citrix Ready as part of the Citrix Ready webinar series. Along with me, I have Daniel Sheng. He's the CMO of Process Fusion, what is the parent company of UniPrint. We have a few housekeeping items to cover. A question and answer period will follow the presentation. I would encourage everyone to drop any questions that you have by using the question box on the right-hand side of your screen. We will do our best to address all these questions during or at the end of the presentation. If this is your first time you're hearing about Citrix Ready, I will take a quick minute to introduce. Next slide, please. Right, so hey, Daniel, next slide. Yeah, thank you. So Citrix Ready is the technology partner program that manages the ecosystem partners. Our program offers robust testing, verification, and joint marketing for solutions across digital workspace, networking, and analytics. We have over 30,000 verifications listed in the Citrix Ready marketplace and is a source of truth to answer that question. Does this product really work with Citrix? Yeah, so we will talk about printing challenges in today's digital workspace. But before we get there, like what really is digital workspace solving and why do I need such a solution now? And and to answer to that really is to do with productivity. And in today's mobile first world and quoting Apple's catchy slogan, there's an app for that. We're in a time where technology made us productive, but now it has become what's called app sprawl phenomenon, where there's an app for everything, but we are context switching far more than the previous generations, which kills productivity. We use over 3 devices a day, context switch every 2 minutes, 20% of the time goes searching for data. So what you're really looking at the screen is a consolidation and aggregation, what Citrix Workspace delivers uh, intelligently. So we have 5 components, and you'll realize without these components, you can't really call a thing digital workspace. Like for instance, without a content collaboration, it will not give you the great experience because you will need files to share and collaborate and to do work. So Citrix Workspace, in a sense, is the complete platform for work to be done. So we are recognized in the industry for virtualization, which is a small piece of the workspace offering. So I will let bring in UniPrint, who values the similar kind of rules and vision which Citrix carries. They have a fantastic solution which aggregates the printing challenges, like just how we have unified the experience across devices. That's the end user experience. And if you go to the next slide, you'll see the end user experience of an IT admin. And now I'll happy to bring in Daniel, who is the CMO of UniPrint, and which is one partner which I appreciate in terms of addressing the challenges of printing and has unified and made it secure as well as efficient to work with. Daniel, over to you.
Thank you. So to start with, some people probably saw the Process Fusion logo, and just want to give a quick update. So about a year ago, UniPrint and a company called Process Fusion merged to become a single company. So the merger bring together a digital transformation solution that is both focusing on the output management solution for UniPrint for printing, as well as we also bought on another Citrix Ready solutions called Capture Point One, or we call it CP1, which we'll be proud to present together with the Citrix Ready team at HIMSS 2020 in, I believe, in Orlando next year to showcase some of the document capture technologies together with UniPrint. So one of the common reason for the merger was that both of our platform works off a PDF-based platform. So UniPrint print to PDF, and then CP1 ingested PDF-based documents really, really well and understand basically where the metadata are residing and able to classify it and extract metadata from those documents. But today we're focusing on print. So let me start the presentation with a quick agenda. So we would talk a little bit about, are we still printing? Why are we printing? Who is printing today? And then basically we want to talk about the printing requirements as users are moved into the digital workspace, the Citrix digital workspace, against having that unified user experience, able to work from anywhere. Where does printing sit in terms of that digital workspace? We will talk a little bit about our solution to deliver a modern print infrastructure. We'll introduce a high-level introduction of the UniPrint solutions, and then we will talk a little bit about the future of print, which we believe is print as a digital transformation tool, and we'll talk about the opportunity for print to digital. So let's get started. So why do we print? And I think we definitely in a world of less paper, not necessarily paperless yet. Many of the critical business processes are still not 100% digitally transformed. So we are sitting in a world that we are intermixing with physical and digital right now, and printing is still very much part of our day-to-day work life. So the reason why we print, fall into four categories. One, we print to read, and there's a lot of reason, why reading off a piece of paper sometimes are better. A big spreadsheet, a complex document, sometimes it's easier to read off paper. The second reason why we print is we print to edit, and that's one of the very big reason for business printing right now. For approval, for signature, for us to annotate documents. We print to share, as well as we print to store. So sometimes we want to hold on to a very important piece of documents on paper format, printing a very important email or an important document. And why do we print at work? And then, as per previous slide, we talk about printing is still required for certain business processes that are not 100% being digitally transformed. So as much as we have a big ERP system or workflow system, or even robotic process automation type system in the back end, there are some documents that's still coming in the form of paper, and it does require printing. So that printing actually bridging some of the business processes cross departments or sometimes cross different business processes. And basically, recently there's a global print study being conducted for 2025 to take a look at basically who will be printing, where will they be printing from, when will they be printing, and how are they printing. And it was a very interesting study. Of course, this study, a lot of the big MFP vendors, right, Xerox, HP Ricoh, Konica Minolta, they all look at that study to look at where print are heading. And the study are telling us that, well, by 2025, 50% of the employees will be mobile in nature. And by 2025, 75% of the workforce will be millennial generation, right? The people that born between 80s to the mid 90s, and together with the Gen Z, the late 90s to the people that born after 2000, this new generation of workforce are demanding workplace technology to be mobile, simple, and convenient. So hence the Citrix Digital Workspace. It is a cloud-first, mobile-first a type experience that the user are looking for in terms of printing. The study further go into detail about the importance of printing to this group of user being surveyed by the age group. So 18 to 34, 35 to 44, the Gen Z, and then the baby boomer who are 55 plus right now, and ask them to rank what are the top 5 importance in terms of printing that they need in the workspace. Across the board, cloud printing, mobile printing, and secure printing top the agenda across all age groups. And basically, if we look at the millennial generation, which again they will be likely be running the workspace, right? By 2025, this group of millennials, they rank cloud printing is number 1, mobile printing as number 2. So mobile printing from any mobile devices, Chromebook, thin client, and number 3 for them is actually something called print to digital. So basically the ability to print something without having a physical paper coming out. To trigger a downstream workflow. And then, of course, secure printing is rated at number 4. So it is a very interesting study. I think that set the stage for us to discuss printing in the Citrix and Digital Workspace. So let me talk about the Citrix Workspace itself, right? So you see the same slide, what Citrix Workspace is about. And we want to talk about, so how do we introduce printing to this workspace that there will be printing from apps, printing from virtualized apps, there is content collaboration, there is a various component that is included in the workspace. Where does print fit? So let's take a look at the benefits of the Citrix Workspace. So those are from Citrix, so unified access, employee experience, better collaboration, IT flexibility and choice, secure app, and data delivery. So there's the reason why people adopted the Citrix Workspace. So we want to make sure as printing is introduced, we want to carry on the same benefit of printing to the reason why Citrix Workspace was introduced. We don't want a user to be able to go mobile, able to work from anywhere, but they are not able to print when they need to print. So let's talk about the requirements of printing for the Citrix Workspace based on the benefits. So today's employees are redefining the word workspace, right? They can do the job from home offices, and of course now with Wi-Fi on many of the flights in North America, international flights, we can work while we are on the plane. So as the office hours is no longer 9 to 5, right? What the user are demanding is that I call it just works experience around the clock. So basically when they want to print, they really want to print. They don't need to call up IT support to figure out the print driver, the printer that is local to to the user if they're traveling from one office to another office. They don't want to configure the printer mapping and things like that. So when they print, they simply want to go file print, kind of like the AirPrint experience, able to just file, click, and then the print jobs will come out. From an access standpoint, they really demand the printing from any devices, so including, of course, PC and Mac, iOS and Android if they are on the mobile devices or tablets, Chromebook, and in some instances, thin clients, right? So for certain vertical in the banking, insurance, or healthcare sector, there are still a lot of thin clients out there. They would like to be able to print from those. They also want to print from any apps, whether it is a cloud-based apps, Salesforce.com, come to mind, Office 365, or apps through Citrix Virtual App or Virtual Desktop. So any legacy apps that are being deployed on the Citrix Virtual App, they should be able to print from anywhere on any devices. And one of the things is also important is that they would like to also print to any printers from different manufacturers. Sometimes, if they are traveling or they are docking into a home office, right? They want that easy printing experience, that just print experience for any printers, right? So they doesn't have to be limited by the printers that are available at the office. So whether those printers are HP all the way to the Xerox, Canon, HP, Ricoh, etc. From a security standpoint, the user are really demanding the printing to be more secure. So in the traditional way of printing, the user go file print, a print job are being submitted to the print queue, to the print server, and then basically from the print server, the print job are being split out to the printer or the MFPs. And of course, the user typically either they run to catch the print job before someone else look at the confidential data, the confidential documents, or sometimes they simply leave the document there and let someone look at the documents. So of course, as we know, today's in a world of high privacy and compliance, that printing security is actually can be really better for an organization when information are leaked because the print job are not being printed out. So instead, we do see that there is a growing trend. In fact, on the survey that we saw in the 2025 survey, about 40% of the organization are implementing some type of a secure printing, which is the user go file print, and then basically they would walk up to the device that they selected and then authenticate to that device or authenticate into an application to release the print job. That we call it secure pool printing. So the print job are being centrally stored securely, waiting for the user to retrieve that print job when they are ready to retrieve that print jobs. And then the technology also allow administrator to prohibit the certain type of document printing that contain sensitive information as well. So for collaboration, again, the user definitely want the print on demand experience. When they want to print, it does provide a better collaboration experience on certain type of documents that are very complex, and having a printout sometimes actually does facilitate a better collaboration for the users. And from an IT standpoint, IT flexibility standpoint, the goal really is to simplify and to virtualize the print infrastructure, kind of like the Citrix Workspace are able to consolidate all the different apps, all the different virtualized apps. They are able to virtualize the applications. The world is moving towards simplifying and virtualizing the print infrastructure as well through the consolidation of the print queue, the elimination of the print servers, and having a centralized print management console and the ability to work with any printer manufacturers. So one of the requirements that we see out there right now, and some of the customers are they felt like they're being tied. Once they selected a particular manufacturer, it's very hard for them to change to another manufacturer because they need to manage another different set of print drivers, a different set of management tools. So the IT does want that flexibility to be able to work with any print manufacturer. Help desk call is another big one. depending on which study you go to, again, print accounted for anywhere between 25% to 50% of all IT help desk related call, only second to password reset. So basically, able to reduce a help desk call is really important. And then, of course, from a benefit standpoint, we are also looking for a system that are able to provide the order trail to provide, who print what when, able to provide statistics and generate order report for compliance reason, for cost accounting reason, and also, to look at print reduction, and then also for internal device consolidation projects as well. So those are the benefits. So those are the requirements that print need to have, the print infrastructure need to have to match up with the benefits that Citrix Digital Workspace will bring to the customers. So now let's take a look at, so how are we able to deliver that modern print infrastructure for the Citrix Digital Workspace? So we touch on the word simplify and virtualize, and that is, a lot of the presentation coming up next will be focusing on that two key elements, to simplify and to virtualize. So the Citrix Workspace reduces infrastructure complexity. Again, for those audiences that is already on Citrix Workspace, right? It combines, the different technology into a single package for deployment, from endpoint management to application delivery networks to identity access and management. So the Citrix Workspace reduce the complexity, that the underlying complexity, so that the users will have a unified experience for accessing all their apps, content, and devices, and provide analytics. So what we want to do is to provide a modern print infrastructure that also simplifies the print management for the Citrix Digital Workspace, and provide a similar user experience for apps and for content and for device choices that the Digital Workspace bring to the user. And we want to bring the same experience in terms of printing. So at this time, I just want to take a short moment to discuss, well, what's wrong with the traditional print infrastructure? Well, isn't it file and print server has been around for ages, since we have a file server, right? The Novell server, the Windows NT server, to all the modern Windows servers today. So file and print server has been around for a long time. But let's take a look at the traditional print infrastructure. So typically, when we have a print server, there's two ways for us to deploy, for IT to deploy print server. They do a centralized deployment, or they do a distributed print server. So print server at every branch office, every location. So the problem with a centralized print server approach, putting the print server in a single location, is the wide area network traffic. So as a user print from one office to from the remote office, the print stream need to go from the print server to the printers that is physically located at that remote locations. It represents a single point of failure, and then of course scripting and the GPO's management can be complex. So by putting the print server available at each of the branch offices, solve the local the wide area network traffic, the print traffic issue, but at the same time, we also introduce another problem, which is the print server sprawl issue. Right? There are too many print servers that IT needs to manage. And those print servers at the remote location management also represent a single point of failure as well. And then scripting and GPO still remain a challenge. So managing print server can be complex. So again, for the audience, if you have one printer in your office, with a small number of users, you have a single location, and having a print server is not complex. It's not that complex. However, as we have many printers, and those printers are spread out across multiple locations, and then we are not, also as we introduce additional printers and additional print queues, the complexity start to evolve of managing all those relationship between the user, the print queue, the print server, and the drivers management for the devices that is out there. So managing print server, again, for the audience that have the task of managing print infrastructure, sometimes it is a very, very complex task. So for the print server, it is actually, there are more than just the print server itself. There is the complexity of managing mobile printing. So many times, those mobile printing could be a separate solutions for iOS, for Android, for Chromebook, for thin client, or even for guest printing, right? The user that are external to our Active Directory coming to our office that they require printings. Print drivers is definitely a nightmare when the number of users are larger, as well as the user are mobile. So updating those print driver, managing those print driver, supporting those print driver is a task for IT. User mapping, again, there's certain complexity of mapping users as they are traveling around different offices. As they travel different offices, there are different printers presented to them. And again, one of the things that we always say that, as much as we can move anything to the cloud, you cannot migrate a printer to the cloud. So the user mapping, we still need to address the user, whether the app's coming from a cloud-based, SaaS-based app or coming from a Citrix Workspace, we need to map the user to the right printers. There's a support issue of print queue, and then of course there's a whole security element surrounding printing or secure surrounding compliances or secure printing. The fact that there is no print jobs being printed and not being picked up or being picked up by the wrong person. We've seen that the move from physical faxes, for example, right, to moving to a print server, digital fax server because of HIPAA compliance in the US, and now a lot of those fax servers are now actually moving into the cloud as well. So this is just I guess a graphical illustration of the challenge of user mapping, right? As a user, move from the Toronto office to the Vancouver office, then this guy is actually moving to the Denver office, right? So as a user travel, when he or she want to print, every time he moves to a new location, right? The roaming profile or IT able to map the user to the right printer within that within that office. It is not a simple task, right? Again, if according to the survey, the 2025 print survey, if 50% of the workers are becoming more mobile, the user mapping challenges is real, and we need a solution that address that problem. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the solutions that will address some of the requirements to deliver a simple, modern print infrastructure for the Citrix Digital Workspace. The solution that we have is called UniPrint. The product is called UniPrint Infinity. So the problem UniPrint Infinity was set out to solve is enterprise printing. Originally, it was set out to solve the problem for VDI for Citrix. So it is a software that you can deploy on-prem. There's a SaaS offering that you can deploy 100% in a public cloud, AWS, Azure, or deploy as a hybrid cloud deployment. So with that infrastructure, we simplified the overall IT management by improving the user experience, reducing costs, and increasing security surrounding enterprise output or printing operation. The technology itself is enterprise proven. We have customers that have over 10,000 print objects that are running on the UniPrint platform across the globe, in Europe, in USA, in Canada, and in APJ. So one of the very unique features, which we'll talk a little bit, is that UniPrint is a PDF-based platform, the Universal Print Driver platform. So why is PDF important? So for printing, a lot of time when a user go file print, the print job is actually coming for the print server to communicate with the printers. The languages that the printer understands is either PostScript or PCL, printer control language, and they are a stream of data. And a lot of time that file that streaming is really, really large. So that technology making it very difficult to taking the print server or to virtualize the print server because the sheer amount of print data that need to go across the wiring network or go through the internet. So because UniPrint using PDF, we are able to compress all print file to a size that are very manageable, making it one of the fastest print engine in the world. So basically, we have done many bake-off within the UniPrint technology in a what we call tab and release, right? So we have a smart card. I tab my card and then release the print job from the print server that could be located in the Azure cloud or in the AWS cloud. The speed that the print job comes down are many times faster than many solutions out there on the market, especially compared to the regular print server technology. And again, the capabilities that it gives us the ability to simplify and virtualize the print infrastructure. So we talk about print server, and again, I would challenge the audience. The server, what server, right? If you still have a on-prem print server, and I would ask you to take a look at your other servers that has gone away from your data center or from the on-prem deployment. So if I'm a gambling man, right, I would guess that 50% of all the audience today, they no longer running a local email server, right? It could be running in Office 365, or it could be hosted somewhere else. CRM systems, likely Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics CRM. Conferencing, right? Today we are running services using GoToWebinar, GoToMeeting. So a lot of the conferencing technology is already in the cloud. I touch on the, of course, web server. A lot of them is in the cloud already. ECM, ERP systems, and even fax, right? We talk about the fax server. A lot of the physical fax server has gone digital, and also a lot of the fax services is now deployed in the cloud. The question then is, why are we still holding on to our print server on premises? Yeah, we understand that the printer itself cannot be migrated to the cloud, but why the print server is still on-prem? Well, one of the reasons is because of the bandwidth that I described. When a print server print to the printers, it is actually printing, in the form of PCL or PostScript, and that generates a lot of bandwidth. By moving the print server to the cloud, that bandwidth coming down to the print server is problematic. But again, with UniPrint, we solve the problem by using PDF as our printing format rather than PostScript and PCL. So let's take a quick look at the capabilities of the UniPrint Infinity. To start with, it is PDF based. It seems trivial, but we actually has a pattern on this printing to PDF methodology. So basically, we have one single unified driver that print to PDF. So it replaces all print drivers that is required for all the desktop or the Mac or the thin client. Right? They all use this PDF based print drivers. Let me get rid of this. So the virtual print queue is the second component. So instead of managing many print queue, right? Each print server having multiple print queues, then you have multiple print servers. Everything print to a single virtual print queue, disregard the location of the users. So that make managing print queue a lot easier because we only have one. And we have a fully high redundant infrastructure that the print queue will never goes down. And on top of that, we provide one single centralized management platform, 100% web-based, to allow the user to be able to manage all their users, all the printers, all the mappings, and all the devices in a single console, disregard whether those printers are come from Xerox, Canon, HP, or any manufacturers. So some of the capabilities by deploying the UniPrint Infinity solution, whether on-prem, in the cloud, or in a hybrid setting, it allows the user to deploy the secure printing or secure pool printing that we talked about. So the user simply printing to using they're printing that central VPQ, right? Using the universal print drivers. The print job is now hosted in the print queue in a secure repository. The print job can be released through a mobile apps. You can release the print job directly on the MFP devices with an app we call VPQ apps, or on a hardware device that we provided to allow people to release the print job through RFID card, a smart card, HID card. They tap and then they release the print jobs. So all the print jobs go to that single print queue, and no more mapping different print queues to different user profiles. And then basically, if the user doesn't pick up the print jobs, we are able to set out time that the print job will be automatically deleted from the repository, so that we are not wasting any paper or any print job that the user have no intention of picking up or they forgot to pick up. So from a release option standpoint, it looks something like this. So basically, we have a device called the VPad. So it works with any manufacturer's printers. So one of those VPad could work with multiple printers or MFPs in your organization. The users simply come up there. They can type in their username password to authenticate, or they could use their RFID or HID card simply to tap, and then basically release the print job, so they are able to select the print jobs as well as the printers that are available to this VPad to release the print jobs. They could also, on number 3, you can also release it from an MFP panel. So we have developed the same user interface, but available on a device on the printers that has a user interface. We have done it for HP, Xerox, and Ricoh today. We don't have it for the smaller manufacturer as of today, such as Brothers or Epson. But for those printer, we can always use the VPad to release the print jobs. Or in the middle, we can also release the print job directly from a mobile apps. So we have this app available on the App Store as well as the Google Play Store. And user can simply go to the mobile phone and then able to select the print job they have printed that is sitting in the virtual print queue, and then release the print job from the mobile phone. So for mobile printing, again, when you deploy the UniPrint Infinity solutions, we can turn any printers into a AirPrint compatible printers. So for Android, for iOS devices or iPad or Mac devices, you can actually just simply print directly to those printers as if it is AirPrint compatible printers. And then also we also support Android as well. So there's direct IP printing available from Android as well. So again, simply go to any Android apps, go file print, and then you are able to print to the virtual print queue, and then able to pick up the print job on the printer that closer to that Android devices. And one of the newer technology, again, some people refer this as cloud printing, or serverless printing, or direct IP printing. So really, what it is the elimination of the print driver completely from the on-prem locations. But for the deployment here, rather than using the universal print PDF drivers, some users they do want to have the native print driver available. We still print to that virtual print queue, but the only difference here is that the print, well, let me just highlight this. So we started with the print server that's on-prem. We migrated all the printers that are available in this print server into our cloud repository. And then basically, we also uploaded things like the office maps into our management platform to understand the location of those printers. And then at this point, the print server can be eliminated. The printer are then mapped to the user location as where they needed to connect the correct driver automatically. So as the user move from France to London to New York to Seattle, as they move to a different location, the UniPrint Infinity will be able to manage all the print driver that's available in the Seattle location, and then able to assign to me the right print drivers, um, and then also at that time allow me to print directly from my desktop or from my devices over to the Seattle printer without going back and forth between the device to the cloud and the device coming back. So that's the direct IP printing. So we provide the tools that we talk about, allow us to create mapping of where the printer location are in each of the location, each of the branch, each of the location, each of the floor, each of the offices where the printer are located. And then from a user standpoint, right, simply from the UniPrint driver on their PC, they simply go file print, and they would the device understand the location of the user, are able to tell them what printer is available, and then able to assign the right print drivers to that user automatically. Or again, the user could be using the universal print drivers, and then they, again, doesn't matter which way they go, we all print to the virtual print queue, and then the user can then either secure, retrieve that print job, or the print job can be go out directly without the secure release mechanism. Again, they can release that through the VPad with the tab card. They can release it through the tab or the apps that are available on the MFP devices, or they can release that print job from a mobile device. We talk about the single management console. So we do have a utilities, a console, a main console that allow IT administration to manage all print related matters, right? From the print drivers to the print queue to the printer itself on a single management console, and that would allow IT to simplify the entire management process of managing print. Especially, it could get very complicated when you do not have a single vendor solution in your organization, because the Canon management console is very different than the Xerox one, which is very different than the HP one. Well, if HP and Xerox merge, then it might become easier, right, between that two. And of course, the management console also provides full statistics and archiving capabilities for all the print jobs that go through the virtual print queue. So the who does what when, who print what when are being tracked, and that data can be used for chargeback. It can be used for auditing, and basically we can also create a report for managing the print traffic and to lower the overall print cost by looking who's printing what in the systems. I'm not going to go through the architecture of the system in detail, but I just want to highlight that from a deployment standpoint, we do offer the entire UniPrint Infinity solution as a SaaS offering in the cloud. Today, we are hosting it at the Microsoft Azure Cloud. And for the customer that have their own private cloud infrastructure, and you can take the software and then deploy it locally into your private cloud. And again, we also support a hybrid cloud deployment. For example, we do support the Azure AD, right? So people can actually leverage that cloud-based AD with our solutions for secure pool printing, mobile printing, and so on and so forth. So we had about 10 minutes to the end of the webinar. So let me just do a quick recap on the UniPrint Infinity benefits. So it's a universal printer driver-based, PDF-based technologies. By deploying UniPrint Infinity, it will help you simplify it and, of course, virtualize the print infrastructure. And the virtual print queue simplify the print administration and the user workflow. The printer profile, stats and archiving, and pool printing could save printing costs by up to 40%. The UniPrint VPad, that devices that allow us to tap and release, together with the mobile release as well as the MPF apps, allow private on-demand secure printing in all environments, including our cloud printing solutions. So a user print to the cloud, and then basically they could walk up to a device and tap and release that print job from the cloud. And as we described before, because we are PDF based and we are able to compress the PDF traffic, we are one of the fastest cloud printing solution on the market today. It will help reduce a help desk call by up to 75%. And because we are PDF-based universal print drivers, it allows for more choice and control in adopting towards digital transformation, which I will spend a minute or two to talk about that the print to digital solution that we have. So this, in a nutshell, is the key benefit of UniPrint Infinity, and that will fit very nicely together with the Citrix digital workspace deployment. So a word on print to digital. So basically, if we think about, a user will be printing from any core applications, right, from the digital workspace. They will be printing using the universal print driver or the service printing, which is a PDF-based file that go to the printers compared to PostScript or PCL stream over to the printers. Paper will come out, right, off the printers, and then basically at that time the users will now look at all the different things they want to do with that print job, right? Get a signature, scan it to fax or whatever they want to do, right? Approve. But because the fact that we are print to PDF, this gives us an amazing opportunity to do to intercept that PDF file before it gets printed to the printers. So think about the opportunity of capturing that PDF file before it gets printed out as a print jobs. So the use case here, we print to workflow. We are able to print directly into robotic process automation, right? Print to RPA. We can print to a e-signature, a e-form for e-signature. We can print to a secure delivery mechanism. So a lot of the customers in healthcare are using UniPrint as a way to bypassing API level integration to simply have someone printing from one application to another applications because we are printing in PDF format rather than a PostScript or PCL format. So basically, this print to digital present a new opportunity for all of us, right, to take advantage of something that all users already know how to do, which is file and print. And except this time, instead of printing to a device, they'll go file print and they print to a workflow, a digital workflow. And that not only do we eliminate paper, it actually make the a analog process or physical process into digital transformation, right? We are able to now transfer that PDF file that are destined for a printer to be electronic, to remain electronic, and then the workflow continues that way. So to finish off the presentation, want to, of course, the UniPrint technology is a very enterprise proven technology, and we have over 1,000 customers, enterprise customers worldwide have deployed UniPrint Infinity in the environment. We have a very strong presence in government as well as in healthcare. And if you are like St. Joseph Health, you are looking to simplify your print infrastructure, you want to virtualize that print infrastructure, or you want to have a vendor agnostic solution that doesn't tie to your printer vendors, right? UniPrint Infinity is a solution that you should definitely consider. And then the solution also fits very well into the overall Citrix digital workspace benefit as well. So with that, I would like to thank you for Citrix Ready for inviting us for this presentation, and I hope you find this information insightful. and useful, right, from a print perspective. I know print is not a very sexy topic nowadays, but again, as user move to become more mobile, more digital, printing is still a requirement for most businesses. And you can get more information about the UniPrint solution through prosfusion.com. You can send an email to us at sales@prosfusion.com, and of course, there will be more. You can also find information about Prosfusion through the Citrix Ready link as well. That's available on this site. And I believe, yep, that is, yep. And of course, we could open up the floor for any questions, right, Sanique?
Absolutely, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. And yes, we've been getting questions. I've been answering a lot of them, and there are some more. So I'll just quickly throw at you to take it up. So does your solution, this is with respect to UniPrint, does UniPrint solution work with all printer vendors?
Yes, it does. So we are printer agnostic. So basically, the universal print drivers allow us to work with any printers. So if those printer are special printers, so you want that very unique feature, like staple on left side, right side, whatever, we have ability to map those special function of the printers directly to our print driver as well. And of course, we can also have the option of managing the native print driver through the direct IP printing. So we have a repository of all the print drivers are already available in the cloud. So we will work with any vendor. And then for the secure release, if we have the mobile, we have the certain big MFP vendors. We already developed an app for secure release. But in case you have a printer that doesn't have that user interface, but you still want to do secure release, we have that VPAD devices that you can acquire to secure release that print job. So we will work with any printer on the market today.
Perfect. And like, what is the biggest difference between your UPD and the others?
Well, the biggest one, and there are other vendors right now that are also start adopting the PDF formats, but we are the first one. Again, we file patent against our UPD based on PDF. So one of the uniqueness that we have is we have been working with the PDF format for a long time, I think over 15 years. So basically, the speed of our universal print drive, because it's PDF based, is a key differentiator. There are certain settings, such as healthcare, when the doctors, as they go from the third floor to the 8th floor, and they want to tap and release something that they printed on the 3rd floor, on the 8th floor printers, they really do not want to wait a long time. They need something very, very fast. And then again, one of the differentiator for our PDF UDP driver is that it's a speed of the print delivery to the device.
So high optimization, compressing up to like 90% of the print data. Perfect, yep. Perfect for the digital transformation initiatives for many organizations. The next question is around like, what type of ROI do you think some of your customers are seeing? Can you give some visibility there?
Yes. So it's kind of, we touched on it on one of the slides. So most of the customers, the immediate benefit that they see is the reduce in IT help desk call, right? Related to print. And the second one is really the benefit. There is the hard benefit of a reduced IT support call. The second benefit is, again, it gives the IT some opportunity to free themselves out from the printer manufacturer contract, right? The MPS contract. They have now more free to pick vendors rather than, because I already have a fleet of Canon, right? I need to continue to add Canon devices, right? They now have more choices because we work with any printers. And from a user experience standpoint, it also free up a lot of time from IT to support requests such as, how do I print from my iOS, my iPhone device, or my iPad that I bought in to bring my own device to work, right? How do I print from those iOS or Mac devices? So basically, overall, the ease of management is a big cost saving for the customers. And of course, some of our customers went to the extreme case that they actually eliminate print server completely from the infrastructure and move all the print server to the cloud. So again, it's, cloud first, mobile first, right? So basically, having the print server in the cloud also able to help IT consolidate the management in one single management console as well.
That's very interesting. So like, can you share like any printer driver issue compatibility that happens with the cloud that might be something unique and which is automated by UniPrint, for instance?
Yes. So UniPrint, again, so we touch on the services. So we actually develop very special our print driver can actually work with, for example, label printers, the Zebra label printers, right? In healthcare, the people that are printing that wristband. So we're able to actually work with almost any specialty printers or devices. Again, thin client being one of the special one. That we are able to work with, to map any print driver to any thin client, which again is not easy to do. Yeah, so again, we have the ability to work with any specialty print drivers. Oh, and now I should add to that, we also work with other single sign-on vendors as well, particularly in healthcare. We are one of the few vendors that are in Purvada integrated. So basically, as the doctor that I talk about that printed something on his iPad and then go to A4 and tap his card and release the print job. A lot of the healthcare organization use in Purvada single sign-on. We now start working with other single sign-on vendors such as One Login in the cloud, a cloud-based single sign-on solutions. We work with that tap from One Login to, and then the single sign-on pass on to UniPrint for release as well.
Yeah, that's seamless integration. That's perfect. And there's another question around is UniPrint compatible with EMRs such as Epic?
Yes.
Is there any native integrations you want to talk about?
Yes. So it is. So we are on the Epic app. I forgot the terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So there's the Citrix, the app developers network. I forgot the exact term that Epic has. So we are part of that network.
Orchid, I think. App Orchid.
Yeah, App Orchid. Like yeah, exactly. So we are part of the Epic App Orchid. So we work very closely with a lot of customers, which are Epic customers in the US. Printing from Epic is problematic, and then of course printing in healthcare are still critical. So people put in load balancer, they to load balance all the print server to make sure print doesn't go down as patients are coming in, they need to print that wristband, right? For surgery, right? So basically our solution take high availability to the next level for Epic printing, and then of course the speed of the printing, we can beat any native Epic or any Meditech, Cerner, or like any EHR system printing anytime because of that compression that we have on PDF.
Perfect. And like, does your solution work with local printers which are directly connected with PC via USB, for example?
Yes, we do. So basically, any printers, we have the technology that we have, again, that we are able to map any printers, and we have a repository. I think we just completed that project through our development team in India. We collected all the possible print drivers in the world and put it in a single repository. So if we see a printer that we don't see, we are able to map that printer almost instantaneously, 99.99% that we are able to find the print driver.
Perfect. All right. And like, what's your trial? Like, do you want to quickly talk about whether a free trial is available to sign up and how long is the trial for?
Yes. Well, you can. Well, if you go to prosecution.com, you can actually bring you to the UniPrint site, which is uniprint.net. And at the uniprint.net site, the product site, there is actually a free trial. You can download the software. And then right now the free trial is only 14 days, but in many times, if you need more time, just send an email over to sales@profusion.com. You can extend that the trial for a longer period of time. And then during the trial, we have our technical team located in Canada and India will provide full round-the-clock support for you as well in case you have any technical questions.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks a lot. I think that's a wrap, and we're also just in time. So the other questions I have is regarding the slides and the recording, whether it will be available. The answer to that question is yes. We will definitely share the recording with all the attendees within a day or two to your registered email ID. So with that said, we are about the end of today's webinar. I want to take a moment and thank Dan and the UniPrint team working at the background to make this webinar successful and making this fantastic presentation and sharing his knowledge with us. And last but not the least, I want to thank each one of you for attending on a Thanksgiving webinar today in a Thanksgiving week and joining us at Citrix Ready in the technical webinar series. And that concludes our broadcast. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Bye.